Next up is our entree, which is rosemary chicken brandy mustard cream, accompanied by rice pilaf and sauteed asparagus.
Alright Chuck, now we're going to start the rice pilaf because in essence that pretty much takes the longest. So first things first, we got our saute pan right here, or sauce pan. We're going to crank up the heat. Use a little butter.
Okay.
And what we're going to do first is we're going to saute some mirepoix. And what mirepoix consists of is onion, celery, and carrots. Generally 50% onion, 25 carrot and celery.
Okay.
So we're going to get our saute pan nice and hot. I'm going to put this in there. You can hear it at its hot because you can hear the vegetables steaming. And we're going to saute these generally for about 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
Alright, just until they get a little soft. Now that they've been sauteing for a couple minutes, Chuck, and they're getting a little soft here, what we're going to do next is we're going to add our Carolina rice. This is not minute rice or nothing, this is real rice grains. And generally it takes 2 parts of water to 1 part of the rice. So if you have 1 cup of rice, which we're going to make, we're going to need 2 cups of chicken stock.
Okay.
So we got our rice right here. And like I said, these are nice and soft. I'm going to pour that in there, just like so. I'm going to move it around so that the butter gets on there and it mixes up. We're going to let it cook for about another minute. And then we're going to get our chicken stock ready. First, we're going to add a little kosher salt.
Why kosher salt?
It's better to use kosher salt when you cook. It brings out the flavor more. You get bigger crystals in the salt, and a lot of chefs like to use the kosher salt as opposed to regular salt. And then your fresh pepper. We're going to bring this to a boil, Chuck. When it comes to a boil, we're going to put a lid on it and let it cook out. It'll take about 15 minutes to cook. Once it's done, you'll remove it from the heat once all the liquid's evaporated out, and you'll let it sit on the stove for about 5–10 minutes to get fluffy. Rice pilaf will be perfect. You got a little more salt and pepper to taste, a little butter if you like, and you're good to go. Alright Chuck, now it's time to prepare the asparagus. First thing with the asparagus, I have them over here. I cut the ends off, but I want to show you a quick trick. Let me grab my chef knife. A little trick I do with my asparagus, I line them all up at the ends. And then I very carefully chop the ends like this to make a cross.
What does that do?
That actually enables the water to cook the asparagus evenly and thoroughly throughout it. So then you just little crosses. And then I'm going to put them into the boiling water to blanch them, which I also add a little kosher salt to that water to keep the asparagus green. And it also makes the water boil faster. And then next I'm going to get my saute pan ready to saute my asparagus. Alright. I'm going to steal a little butter patty here and get that melted in there. And then I'm going to use a little fresh garlic, which I'm going to let you scoop out with the tongs. How's that?
That sounds good.
So you grab that, and I'll
How much garlic?
Just a tiny bit.
Okay, I love garlic.
Alright, you want to do a little extra garlic?
Yeah, let's do a little more.
Alright, a little extra garlic on the asparagus today. From Chef Chuck Love. So we'll get these this garlic started. It starts cooking, it starts changing color and makes it translucent white. As you can see down here, it's starting to brown a little bit.
That smells good.
Now our asparagus are done blanching. It only takes about a minute to blanch them, so we're going to just transfer them from the boiling water to our pan, shaking the excess water off. And then we're just going to do a simple saute, and since you wanted a lot of garlic,
there's a lot of garlic on there.
There's a good amount of garlic. I'll keep that over the stove for about a minute, and they'll be done. Alright Chuck, now it's time to prepare the chicken. Okay. First, we're going to have to season it. You said it was rosemary chicken, correct?
Yes, I did.
Alright, well, let's add a little salt. I'll throw a little salt on there. I'll also sprinkle a little pepper on the pepper grind. And Now I have some rosemary here. I use dry rosemary from my seasoning rack. And I poured a little out there. If you want to take it, because I know it wasn't very easy for you to shake it out. And you always want to do the rosemary with your fingers, because you don't want to use too much. But you know exactly.
How's that?
That is perfect. Like I was going to say, you know the exact amount that we need. So that's what your chicken should look like being prepared. It's got a little salt, pepper, and a little bit of dry rosemary. We're going to crank up the heat on our saute pan.
Crank it up.
Crank it up. A little butter pat right there. And get that melted in there. Now, I chopped up some shallots to use with the sauce. I'm just going to throw a little scoop in there with the chicken. Can't hurt. And what we're going to do with our chicken, we're just going to brown each side, and we're going to pop it into the oven at about 350 degrees for about 15 minutes to finish it off. And then while that's finishing off, we're going to go ahead and make our brandy mustard cream sauce to accompany the chicken. You hear that sizzle? That means we know the pot's hot enough. What's going to happen is we're just going to have that in there over the heat. This will only take about 2 minutes, a minute on each side to brown it. And then we're going to transfer it. I got my little aluminum pan at the dollar store. I'm going to use it in there. It saves a lot of mess. Easy, disposable when you're done. So that's just about browned on each side now. I'll show you. See that nice golden color?
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Nice golden color on each side. We'll do the side of it if you want. Alright, now we're going to transfer it to our pan. Do you want to put it in the oven?
Yeah, I'll put it in the oven.
Or do you want to open the oven and me put it in?
I should be able to do it.
There you go.
Okay. Put it into the oven.
There we go. Very nice. Now again, at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. Now this pan is getting nice and hot still. I'm keeping it on the fire. I'm going to grab another little butter pat and get that working in there. Again, I mentioned them shallots there for the sauce. I'm going to pour them in. I'm going to dump them in and saute them shallots up. Time to flambe.
Time to flambe.
Now always pour it away from the flame. That should be enough. Now I'm going to put it on there just to get it to heat up a little bit. And I'm going to move the brandy away. And I'm going to grab my striker. There we go. See that flambe action?
We're on fire now.
We'll go ahead and put it back on there. I had turned off the flame just as a safety precaution. The alcohol's already cooked out. The brandy will actually intensify and make the sauce stronger. So as that heats up, like so, it's boiling. We'll let it cook out for about 2 minutes. Then we're going to go ahead, we're going to add our chicken stock to it. You just want to add a little bit of chicken stock. And then we're going to go with the heavy cream, and then we're going to tighten it all up with the Dijon mustard. Plated presentation wise, we have our chicken fanned out around our rice pilaf with our asparagus piled on top very nicely. Added a little parsley for garnish, as well as the sauce is drizzled around the plate. And then for a little color, I chopped up a little parsley, put it around the brim with a little brunoise carrots and a little diced tomato. Set off the plate perfectly. What do you think?
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, you want to try it?
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Let me pull the plate a little closer to me.
Give it a shot.
Very good.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Glad you enjoyed.